Okay, it is main event time, and well, Mr. Karrion Kross is moving on up after a couple of months. He's going to have his first matchup against Das Deutschenhammer, Josef von Schmidt.
Ladies and gentlemen, this evening's Star main event, one fall, with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first, accompanied by Scarlett from Las Vegas, Nevada, weighing 236 pounds, Karrion Kross.
My goodness, it seems like somebody's craving a little bit of attention, aren't they?
Okay, so let's talk Karrion Kross. He was snatched up by our literally days after his WWE release was in the books, and he's made quite the presence, both in singles and his tag team partnership with Mad Dog McKay. So this main event against Von Schmidt is a big level up for Kross.
Plus, Kross and Scarlett have got fan popularity from his time at WWE. The guy's really done pretty well for himself, and his match with Das Deutschenhammer is likely to raise his stock, win or lose, but double if he were to win one on Von Schmidt.
Well, that would be a hell of a feather in the cap, wouldn't it?
Naturally, it's wide open for anyone to win, in theory, but Von Schmidt's been a multi-time champion all over the place, despite his 2026 dry spell. In the gold department, I'll rate Kross's chances at possible, but not probable.
A fair estimation, GB. Okay, guys, can we move it on? This program has time constraints, damn it.
His opponent from Dresden, Germany, weighing 265 pounds, here is Das Deutschenhammer Josef von Schmidt. Guy still makes a grand entrance, whether he's riding that motorcycle of his or showering in pyrotechnics. Josef von Schmidt isn't just a headliner around here. He's an institution since his 2010 debut as an unapologetic German nationalist, as he called himself, but softened his image by warring with Scott Bell, partnering with American Supreme Matt Clark after they tried to annihilate each other for months before, and then becoming our first ever Memphis Million winner. Since then, the German super soldier has definitely scaled back his more sinister tendencies and has become a fan favorite with runs as Snarl TV champion, international champion, a tag team champion, and 3 reigns as world heavyweight champion.
Which is why that dry run of no gold for Josef von Schmidt, who was once known as the German gold collector, is so strange to everybody. We would have figured by now he would have definitely caught the brass ring, but not so far. Well, maybe 2026 is going to be his year.
Let's not count our Schnitzing-Rubens quite so fast, Tex. Let's see how he does against Kross in this main event, and Von Schmidt's first tussle of the year.
Yeah, that's right. This is his first matchup of 2026. Yeah, it could be an augur of things yet to come. Well, this one's going to be a little bit outside the box for a main event, but that's what's going to make it interesting. Tom Kanamura rings the bell. Here we go. A knee right to the head of Josef von Schmidt takes him down to the canvas. Karrion Kross going immediately to work on Das Deutschenhammer with stomps to the hands and fingers. And von Schmidt rounded back up by Karrion Kross. Kross with a clothesline drops him right back down to the mat again. There's a stomp to the midsection. Karrion Kross starting out strong here. Going to work on Josef von Schmidt with some degree of authority. Man, he's really putting the boost to them hands. Oh, damn. Can't punch if your hands hurt. He is laying into it too. Huh. Scarlett Bordeaux course, looking on. Them two are inseparable, much like Mad Dog McKay and Miss Morse X. Von Schmidt catches another kick from Karrion Kross. Kross rounds up Von Schmidt for a power bomb and delivers it. Man, Von Schmidt counters, gets back up to a standing position, needs to mount some offense in a hurry. There's a clubbing overhand right to Karrion Kross, but Kross counter slams Von Schmidt right back down to the canvas again and goes right back to work on him. Mounted punches, hard right hands to the head of Josef Von Schmidt. Oh, damn. Karrion Kross. Hungry for this match, man. Huh. Look at this. A gut wrench suplex, not just one. He's greedy. He's going to go for another one. Man, Von Schmidt's taking a beating here. Here's a pin attempt. One. Barely just a one. Josef Von Schmidt get to mount any credible offense in this one. And he's about to catch another powerbomb from Karrion Kross. I'll tell you what, Karrion Kross is looking pretty solid in this one. What a main event we got going on here. Oh, man. What up? Josef Von Schmidt in some big time trouble here as Karrion Kross continues the assault on the hands of Das Deutschenhammer. Oh. Von Schmidt again counters quickly back up to a standing position. Again needs to mount some offense. Another clubbing overhand right finally gets Karrion Kross somewhere in control. Von Schmidt throws the switch on both arms. Kross moves to the outside. Von Schmidt going on right after him. Catches a set of shots from Karrion Kross and a suplex on the outside with Tom Kanemaru already counting. Von Schmidt sweeps the leg on Kross. He drops his head against the floor, charges, misses with the jumping neck breaker, hits his own head. Yeah, Von Schmidt really not doing too well here. He's having a bad night. Karrion Kross back on the outside. Starts the count all over again. Von Schmidt with an elbow goes behind on Kross, drives him into the barricade. Finally, Josef Von Schmidt trying to mount some real offense here. Ooh! Drives Kross into the barricade a second time. Now driving a set of knees into the leg of Karrion Kross with no regard for the referee's count. He just doesn't care anymore. Kross rolled back inside the ring by Josef Von Schmidt. Scarlett Bordeaux looking on. She can't be too thrilled. All the way up to the top here and missile shoulder off the top from Josef Von Schmidt. Karrion Kross catches an elbow to the leg. Josef Von Schmidt finally turned things around. The momentum finally headed his way after quite a beating at the hands of Karrion Kross. There's a right to the back. Von Schmidt goes behind. There's a German suplex. What else from Von Schmidt? And boom, there's a clothesline that spins him ass over tea kettle. Down he goes. Kross rounded back up again. Von Schmidt, look at this. Scarlett Bordeaux trying to distract Tom Kanemaru. Meanwhile, Kross with a counter gets a hold of Von Schmidt. And another gut wrench suplex. A combination. He catches two of them. And Kross back in control again all of a sudden. Slammed down to the canvas by Josef Von Schmidt. There's an elbow across the chest. Von Schmidt battling back here. What a matchup so far. A counter from Karrion Kross. Von Schmidt puts on the brakes, delivers a headbutt. Gets a hold of Kross, flips him to the ropes, misses the grapple. Kross puts on the brakes. And there's a spear. Just out of no place. Josef Von Schmidt gathered back up by Karrion Kross. A double choke lift into a powerbomb. And again, Von Schmidt losing control of this one. As Kross moves on out to the outside right after him. Look, man, Karrion Kross has been no joke in this matchup. Blatant choke outside the ring. Referee counting, of course. And Karrion Kross back in control of Josef Von Schmidt. After Von Schmidt started the battle back twist for a little while. And it got taken away from him by Kross. Man. Von Schmidt rounded back up. Karrion Kross with another clothesline to Von Schmidt on the outside. Referee continuing the count here. Von Schmidt counters with an enziguri, a boot right to the side of the head of Karrion Kross. Kross locks him up, drives him into the barricade. Von Schmidt quickly rolls back up, but is quickly taken right back down again. There's another stomp to the chest. From carrying Kross to Josef Von Schmidt. There's a stomp to the midsection. Again, the referee counting, and no regard for the count whatsoever from neither one of these guys. They're just going at it, trying to wear each other out on the outside. As long as they make it back in time for the count of 20, they can do whatever they like. Another kick to the leg from carrying Kross, and now into a heel hook stretch on the outside, and that's going to eat up some more time. Oh, man. This one got a little nuts. Von Schmidt rounded up again. There's another suplex from carrying Kross. Kross gathers him up again. Von Schmidt rounded up for a fly swatter on the floor on the outside. Oh, man. Kross finally makes it back inside. Von Schmidt needs to hurry it up. Kross starts the count all over again. Everybody back inside the ring now. Von Schmidt locks him up. Has him up over the shoulder, hangs him up off the top rope. Carrying Kross goes down to the back. Von Schmidt rounds him up real hard. Right hand drops Kross to the mat again. Josef Von Schmidt battling back one more time here. Wow, a lot of back and forth in this one. Von Schmidt takes himself topside. This could be bad news for Kross. Here we go, big time cross body from Josef Von Schmidt. Here we go. Das Deutschenhammer warming up the bus for sure on carrying Kross. Goes behind on him and Das Geistbreaker. The Spirit Breaker from Josef Von Schmidt. He's trying to get a submission out of carrying Kross. Kross looking for any possible way out. Finally does. Nails an elbow to the side of the head. Von Schmidt gets back up to a standing position. Locks it up with Von Schmidt. Whips him to the ropes. Makes the duck under. And an elbow right to the head. Carrying Kross. Rounds him up. There's a side suplex. And Von Schmidt just collapses. Here's a pin. 1, 2. Well, now that is going to do it. Carrying Kross with a surprise win over Das Deutschenhammer. Wow.
The time, 7 minutes and 54 seconds. Your winner by pinfall, carrying Kross. Holy old hell. This goes just a bit beyond an upset win for Kross. This win over Von Schmidt was an important one for carrying Kross, but it could also be a bad sign of things to come for Von Schmidt. Losing your first main event of the year has got to be a one-way ticket to disappointment.
All right, fans, that's this week's Snarl in the books. And as always, we thank all of you for watching, subscribing, and all that goodness. We appreciate all of you. Okay, coming up next, the first Rage card of 2026 with Don Hickson, Christy Ogilvie, and Myron Schimmelman. And I'm sure it's gonna be a hot ticket. As for us, we'll all be back here with you on Saturday the 17th. Until then, for all of us, Wally Cardinal saying thanks, good night, and be safe.